People deluded. Now these Zaha reports won't go away. For a while, even while the season was going on, if you spoke to certain people, Arsenal wanted to double down their interest on Zaha. With obviously people, us not making the Champions League and things like that, if the budget is 45 million, we've got not really much room to manoeuvre even with potential player sales. The player sales, you see in Lacazette, Aubameyang, Torreira links with moves. I don't advocate none of these players being sold really and truly. The ones that can bring in money, we kind of need them. And we all know the players that are not going to bring in fees. So even with player sales, it does look quite bleak, people. And obviously Saliba, you're hearing 30 million euros, depending on how that is structured, because I very much doubt that Arsenal are going to give them up the bulk of that immediately. Similar for Kieran Tierney as well. That seems to be our budget. Now for me, I'm happy with a couple of centre-halves or a centre-half and a left-back. Of course I would like a midfielder, of course I would like this, of course I would like that. But for me, anything, I just want to get the foundation, the back line sorted, and if you can get that sorted, then you can move on to bigger and better things. But if there was one area that I believe is absolutely needs to be fixed, and I won't be happy if it's not, it's that area, people. Of course I would like Zaha, people. Apparently he wants us, we want him, but in terms of Palace wanting 80 million, us not having them bans, it doesn't sound like a good story. Yes, he was an ex-Arsenal fan. I personally believe Palace are sitting on a banker here. Obviously, they bought him back for around 6 million. So even if they sell him for 50 or more than that, they're making a healthy profit. I know United get a percentage of the sell-on fee, so they're living. Zaha is almost he's almost there. He's their messiah, more or less, people. Like he really is. He's South London Neymar, more or less, for them, people, because they brought him back. He's a Palace lad. He returned home. They gave him the love. He's built himself back up again and things like that. So they're in no rush to sell him. If they ever want to sell him, even when he's 28, 29, they're going to make back their 6 million. So I don't really think they care. Obviously, money is money and clubs need to make money. Apparently, they're selling Wan-Bissaka for 50 million. That can be reinvested into their squad. But there's no rush to sell Zaha. Of course, if their scouting team's on point, in theory, they could sell Zaha and bring in another player of similar standard or someone with scope to do that. But that's banking on a lot. I don't feel Palace are going to bring in a similar caliber player, marquee sort of player for them, a maverick sort of player as Zaha is. 10 goals, 10 assists last season and stuff like that. I think he's a baller. He's contracted until 2023, signed a new deal last year, so that's even more of a position of strength. We know he's spoken about Champions League, which we're not on, and bigger ambitions and all of these sort of things, and he would have to probably force a move. The issue also is no one's going to pay 80 million for Zaha, as much as I like him, and I think you're quite crazy if you do. I think business could probably be done for around 60 odd. In an ideal world, you're like, no, I'm stingy, I'm saying 55, 60 people. 65 I'd be willing to budge, add-ons and stuff, but you know Arsenal can't do that. If Palace will allow us and we can find 20, 25 million down payment, structure some other P's over the next year or so, maybe buck them a young player on loan, see what they're saying for possibly Callum Chambers, El Nene, Nelson on loan, even though I want him to stay, Emil, maybe even Mavropanos, just floating names to them, whether I agree or not, just floating these names. Even Chambers, he might be given a chance this season, regardless of his ability. The season he's had at Fulham, you should be able to get minimum 20 million for him. Now, again, it's not as white and black, but if you could grab that 20 million for argument's sake and slap that on top of what we might have left around, then you might see something. Palace know they're sitting on the bank. I mean, Palace, I don't feel they care because it's only 6 million, people, and for the output Zaha's given them in terms of 10 goals, 10 assists, it's nothing. 6 million, what's that? They sell it for 20, they've made 14 million pound profit, people. Obviously, they're percentages, but they're not going to care. Regardless, they'll make profit on Zaha. Zaha probably... Move, you pigeons, man. Messing up the vid. Sorry, people. Now, if Zaha really wants to force a move, he would have to force it, people. He would have to force the move. And again, he'd really have to put his foot down, really burn some bridges, really publicly come out more than he already has and said he wants to keep it moving, people. And also, he probably moved to United too much too soon, but he also needs to think about the grass isn't always green on the other side. Do I think he's ready to play for a Champions League club, which we're not, or a more reputable club with all respect to Palace? Of course, people. But he also needs to remember what happened when he moved to United early, how you just become one of many. The Palace guys, Palace fans and the club, they built him back up. He's their son. Like I said, he's South London's Neymar, them and they love him. I want Zaha at Arsenal, as I would want anyone. Imagine if we could get Tierney, Saliba and Zaha. I don't feel it's an amazing squad, but it's definitely an upgrade. Zaha is a pipe dream, people. Again, if you could do bust them some P's, do a loan with an option to buy, I'm not too sure what could be done, people. So I don't feel Zaha is going to happen, and I do think that's one that's going to drag out all summer. I don't think we've heard the last of it. You actually never know. You actually never know, people, what could happen. So I wouldn't rule it out, but it's incredibly unrealistic based on what we're... Someone's smoking loud. On what we're being told. But on that note, I got to get back to the office. So people, DG, I'm out. Thank you for watching and rocking each and every time.